Imagine you wake up as a pirate. You're somewhere in the Caribbean. The sun is coming up over the water. Your ship is cutting through the waves, sails full, the ocean stretching out in every direction with nobody telling you where to go. You've got a cutlass on your hip, a crew that answers to you, and somewhere out there is a merchant ship sitting low in the water, heavy with cargo, lightly defended, and completely unaware you exist. This is the life. Freedom, adventure, the open sea. No boss, no rules, no clock to punch. Just you, your crew, and the horizon. That's the dream. That's the Jack Sparrow version. That's what movies have been selling for 100 years. Now let's talk about what it actually was. It's somewhere around 1710. You're in the Golden Age of Piracy, and the moment you open your eyes, the fantasy starts falling apart. You're below deck. The ceiling is so low you can't stand up straight. The smell hits you first. Unwashed bodies, rotting wood, bilge water, and something that used to be food. You're in a hammock, shoulder to shoulder with 200 other men. There is no privacy. There is no personal space. There is no quiet. Welcome aboard. The ship is your entire world now, and it is nothing like you imagined. A typical pirate vessel in the early 1700s carried somewhere between 100 and 200 men on a ship designed to hold maybe half that. Space was rationed like everything else. Officers got cabins. Everyone else got hammocks in the hold, stacked close enough that you could feel the man next to you breathing. The ship never stopped moving. In calm seas, it rocked gently. In a storm, it became a nightmare. Water pouring through every gap, ropes snapping, men sliding across the deck, and the constant terrifying sound of the hull groaning under pressure. Below deck was dark almost all the time. No windows. The only light came from oil lanterns, which were a fire hazard on a wooden ship packed with gunpowder. So most of the time you lived in near darkness, in the heat, in the smell, listening to the ocean on the other side of a few inches of wood. Here's something the movies never show you. Pirates were surprisingly democratic. Most pirate ships operated under a written code, the Articles of Agreement. Before anyone set sail, every crew member signed it. The code set out the rules, the punishments, and most importantly, how the loot was divided. The captain got a larger share, but not by much. Usually 2 shares to everyone else's one. And the captain's power wasn't absolute. He could be voted out by the crew at any time. Several famous captains were. The quartermaster was often more powerful than the captain on a day-to-day basis. He managed supplies, resolved disputes, and represented the crew's interests. Think of him as the union rep. The code also set out compensation for injuries. Lose your right arm, you got 600 pieces of 8. That was the standard silver coin of the era, Spanish currency that dominated the seas. Left arm, 500. A leg, 500. An eye or a finger, 100. None of this made the life good. But it made it fairer than the merchant ships or naval vessels most of these men had escaped from, where captains had total authority, pay was a fraction of what was promised, and conditions were just as brutal without any of the upside. The food was trying to kill you. Fresh food lasted maybe a week at sea. After that, you were eating salt pork, dried beef, and hardtack, a dense biscuit that lasted for months and hosted weevils. Most sailors just ate them. Water stored in barrels went stale fast, so most of the drinking happened through rum, which didn't spoil the same way. On a good ship, you got a daily ration. On a bad one, you competed for it. Scurvy was everywhere. It starts with fatigue and bleeding gums and ends with your teeth falling out and your body falling apart from the inside. The solution was citrus fruit, known as early as the 1600s. But it wasn't standard practice for another century. The movies make naval battles look exciting. In reality, most pirates tried hard to avoid them. The whole point was profit. A battle damaged your ship, killed your crew, and destroyed the cargo you were trying to steal. So the preferred strategy was intimidation. Fly a terrifying flag, fire a warning shot, let the merchant ship surrender without a fight. It worked most of the time. Merchant crews had no loyalty to the cargo they were carrying. Surrendering meant staying alive. When battles did happen, cannons fired iron balls that shattered wood into splinters, moving at lethal speed in every direction. A single hit could kill a dozen men. Hand-to-hand combat was fast, brutal, and fought in tight quarters on a moving deck with no rules. Surgeons were just crew members with slightly more experience. Amputation was performed with a saw on a moving ship without anesthesia. Between battles, which were rare, life was mostly boredom. Weeks at sea, maintaining the ship, playing cards, arguing, sleeping. The same faces every day with nowhere to go. Disease killed more pirates than combat ever did. Dysentery, typhoid, yellow fever. Once one man got sick, everyone was at risk. The average pirate career lasted just a few years. Those who were caught were hanged publicly, bodies left on display for months as a warning. Blackbeard, the most famous pirate in history, was active for less than 2 years before being killed in battle in 1718. His head was hung from the bowsprit of the ship that killed him. The treasure was rarely gold coins on a deserted island. It was cargo, fabric, sugar, spices, tools. Most pirates didn't get rich. They spent what they took in port and went back out again because there was nothing else for them. So, why did people do it? Most weren't career criminals. Many were former sailors who had been treated badly, paid poorly, and had nothing waiting for them on land. Piracy offered something their lives hadn't: a vote, a share of the profits, a code that tried to be fair, freedom from a captain who could have you flogged for looking at him wrong. The life was brutal, short, and smelled terrible. But for men with very few choices, it was sometimes the best one available. The Jack Sparrow version is more fun, but the real version says something more interesting about what people do when the world doesn't give them many options. See you next time.